Well, hello, it's Tyrone Jackson, the Wealthy Investor, and I want to give you another stock market lesson, another stock market tutorial, and give you an update on NetFlix stock. That's the one that I happen to like to trade, especially the past couple of months have been juicy, juicy, juicy. A lot of great money to be made there. And I wanted to just reinforce an idea here. Now, in the Wealthy Investor program, we only buy stocks that are in an upward trend. So we see here over the last 5 years, Netflix stock has a tendency to rise. Then all of a sudden, we hit these patterns here, which are known as volatility. And instead of just being upward trending here, the stock becomes range bound. It starts to go from a high to a low. So let's go through that again. Here's an upward trending pattern. And then we see that the stock becomes range bound with a series of highs and lows and highs and lows. Now, there are external reasons I'm going to get into. I'm not going to get into as to why that happens, but I do want to remind you that there is money to be made no matter where this upward trending stock that converts into a range bound stock where it goes, and you can profit from that, and it's not really hard. But this volatility here is what I really wanted to focus on. And if I zoom in and I now show you, let's say, a 1 year chart, you would not initially want to own this stock based on this chart. But now we have the opportunity to take this long-term stock that we may have been investing in, and now we can convert it into a trade. And this is what a lot of people don't understand, is the difference between investing, holding a stock for a long term, and then a trade where you're buying it and selling it in some sort of regular intervals. So when I have a long-term investment that turns into a trade like Netflix, I know there's money to be made. Now, where is this money that there is to be made? Well, if you know anything about the wealthy investor approach, I can now use Netflix and turn it into a monthly or weekly income generator by doing what? By selling covered calls against the stock. And you hear me talk about that all the time. So if I sashay on out a couple of months, I see that the stock here is actually trading at 118.92. This is an easiest thing in the world. It takes me 3 minutes to sell a 119 out of the money call option and take in $5.95 per share, or $595 per week. If I want to go further out of the money and turn Netflix into an income generator, I'll sell the 120 or 122 strike. The 121 here is going for $4.60. So when this stock becomes range bound, it converts from a long-term investment to a short-term money-making trade. Okay? Really, really important that we know how to do that, because a stock can only do one of three things: go up, go down, or stay the same. So when it converts from an investment into a trade, you want to be there. Now, this not only works for Netflix, it works on any stock. Let's take a look at Starbucks. And you'll notice Starbucks ticker symbol is SBUX. Now, what does Netflix and Starbucks have in common? They're not members of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, but they are members of the S&P 500, which is another one of our criteria. So notice here, we're in a strong upward trend. This is an investing stock, and then all of a sudden, it hits similar levels of volatility here and becomes range bound. It pulls back, it rises. You'll see that we have a peak here, and then we have retracement, right? Then we've got another sell off, and then we have retracement, another sell off, and this pattern continues. And this is going to continue for just a little while here. I'd say the next 6 months, and then certain stocks are just going to take off. So this tells me that Starbucks now turns in from an investment into a trade, something I can make money on. Here's the 1 year chart. Turns into something that I can make money on now, weekly or monthly, if I know how and when to write cover calls. So you'll see that Starbucks is trading at 57.61. If I didn't want to give up the stock, or I think it's going to stay in the range, I would sell something like a 59 strike call, take in both the dividend and that guaranteed money. So this is really exciting stuff. Or I might even go out 30 days and sell a 60 strike call, because I don't think the stock is going to hit 60. Here's $60. So I might as well go in and take in that guaranteed money. Now, obviously, do I have to do this? Because this comes up with a lot of people. Do I have to do this with all my shares? No. If I have 200 shares, I could just sell cover calls against 100 shares and make this guaranteed money in the stock market. So remember, when your favorite long-term stock in the S&P converts into a range-bound stock, we make our money taking in that guaranteed money from covered call writing, or And we don't have to cover call right against all our shares, just some of them. The most important thing that I want for you is to always be making money in the stock market, whether a stock goes up, goes down, or stays the same. Obviously, to do that, you have to have a financial education. So why is it some people make consistent money in the stock market over and over and over again? Because they understand that stocks that you're investing in can also turn into stocks that you are trading in when the market hits a range bound market, or the shares that you are trading of your favorite S&P or Dow component becomes range bound. You convert it into an instant money maker. Hey, listen, if you like these videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel here. And if you feel like you want to learn more about how to invest for the long term and trade for the short term, make sure you join me at witradeschool.com. That's where I answer your questions every single week. And I remind you that all of my major strategies are listed there in video after video. You don't understand something, you just watch all of the videos in Trade School and you get to know my major and minor strategies. If you want to be really successful in the stock market, you are going to need a financial education. That's it for now. This is Tyrone Jackson saying I'll see you on our next video update.